What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Coach Arthur Smith. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about Coach Arthur Smith. Today he did have a press conference and he mentioned that he's not too sure which quarterback will start this week in our home game against the Indianapolis Colts. And personally, I think that Coach Arthur Smith is making a mistake in possibly switching quarterbacks at this point. I don't believe that it makes sense to try to go back to Taylor Heinicke and switch quarterbacks. Coach Arthur Smith did state earlier this season after he benched Desmond Ridder that he wasn't going to play musical chairs at the quarterback position. And if he were to go back to Taylor Heinicke at this point, he will be basically going against what he stated. And personally, I think that Coach Arthur Smith isn't learning from his mistakes this season. If you guys remember earlier in the season when we did bench Desmond Ridder for Taylor Heinicke for those 2 games, Taylor Heinicke did go 0-2 as the starting quarterback for our Atlanta Falcons. We lost games to the Minnesota Vikings. We also lost the game to the Arizona Cardinals, who I believe at the time were 1-8 on the season. So I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again. There's nobody coming to save this team. At this point, I feel like Arthur Smith is just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. He's doing everything possible, to save face. But at the end of the day, I really feel like at this point, Coach Arthur Smith needs to take a look in the mirror. I really feel like the biggest issues with the Atlanta Falcons is coaching. The play calling hasn't been the best this season. He hasn't put Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heinicke in positions to succeed. And it's been mistakes as well by the players. But I really feel like at this point, it makes no sense to bench Desmond Ridder and go back to Taylor Heinicke. There's only 3 games left in the season. And if we were to go back to Taylor Heinicke at this point, it just shows that right now it's a lot of dysfunction with the Atlanta Falcons in that locker room and at their head coach position. Right now, I feel like Coach Arthur Smith has no plan. He's just basically, like I said, throwing things to the wall and see what sticks. At this point, he's kind of panicking because the media, the fans have turned against him. And at this point, he's trying to just figure out anything to save his job at this point. As we know, rumors did come out earlier this season that Coach Arthur Smith would be back for the 2024 season. So at this point, I feel like he just needs to stand 10 toes down on whatever quarterback he's going to go with. At this point, I feel like he should just stick with Desmond Ridder because the Falcons don't control their own destiny as far as the playoffs. We can try to win out, but if the other teams in this division, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, win out, they own the tiebreaker at this point. And at this point, they do have a game up on the Atlanta Falcons because they're 7-7. We're 6-8 with last week's loss. There's no point in trying to go back to Taylor Heinicke at this point. Taylor Heinicke isn't Matt Ryan. He isn't Michael Vick. Those guys are not walking through that door. So at this point, I feel like if you go to Taylor Heinicke, when he was in there, he didn't look much better than Desmond Ridder earlier this season. And I just really feel like Coach Arthur Smith is hard-headed. I keep saying it over and over again that he's not learning from his mistakes. We talk about Desmond Ridder not learning from throwing picks in the end zone and throwing, turning the ball over and making mistakes, making those rookie mistakes. Coach Arthur Smith, even though he's in his 3rd year as the head coach, he's still making boneheaded mistakes. He's still making boneheaded decisions. He's not confident. He continues to say that he backs Desmond Ridder. But to me, the only thing that Arthur Smith is doing at this point is taking the young quarterback's confidence. I really feel like if he benches Desmond Ridder again, he's not helping the case for Desmond Ridder as possibly being a starting quarterback in this league. He continues to say that he stands behind Desmond Ridder, but then he straddles the fence. At some point, you just got to make a decision and ride it out and ride with whoever you're going to choose at that quarterback position. At this point, like I stated, because the season is winding up, I would just stick with Desmond Ridder, allow him to get those snaps, allow him to get those reps, and allow him to continue to develop. But at this point, I just really feel like this looks bad on Arthur Smith's, on his side of things, as far as him keep jostling back and forth and him going between both quarterbacks and him not making decisions. And it just looks like, as I mentioned, he doesn't have a plan at this point. He's just doing anything he can to save face. And I really feel like he just needs to take ownership. Good head coaches, protect their young quarterbacks and protect their players at all costs. And I feel like he's done a poor job this year of just taking ownership and basically, protecting Desmond Ridder as a young quarterback in this league. Protect your young guy. We already know that the media and everybody's all over Desmond Ridder at this point. But I feel like Arthur Smith is doing anything he can to kind of get the heat off of his back. And he hasn't done anything to me in this season to kind of look after Desmond Ridder and look after this team. So at the end of the day, as I mentioned, I'm not against Coach Arthur Smith, but I have to keep it a buck. I really feel like at this point, he's looking really, really bad at this point if he were to change quarterbacks in this instance. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Coach Arthur Smith possibly making another quarterback change. Personally, I don't think it makes any type of sense at this point. Just ride it out the rest of the season. Let the chips fall where they may and begin, start over next year. If you want to draft a new quarterback, go ahead and draft a new quarterback. But you also give me your thoughts on if you would trust Arthur Smith with another quarterback. Because personally, the way that this season has gone, I wouldn't trust Coach Arthur Smith to develop a first-round quarterback. If you couldn't get it done with Desmond Ridder, if you couldn't get it done with Marcus Mariota, I really don't trust him to develop another young quarterback coming in as a first-rounder. To me, he's done a poor job of assisting Desmond Ridder as far as calling plays. Like I said, he continues to put him in, compromised positions. And at this point, it's not looking good for Atlanta Falcons as far as Coach Arthur Smith. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts. As always, Falcons Nation, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.